Welcome back to Cinematic Sarcastic, a podcast that talks all things movies and television. I'm Natalie, and I'm your host. On today's episode, we are going to be talking about House of the Dragon, episode 9. This one, I think it is safe to say that I can sum it up in one word: melees. I was pretty resigned, I guess would be the right word, to assuming that this episode was just going to be mostly a political episode, i.e., we know at the beginning of this episode that the king has died. And so the majority of this episode really just covers Alicent Hightower deciding that she will take what she doesn't understand, i.e. the king's last words before he passed away, which was a misunderstanding. She misunderstood what he was talking about, but she took it to believe that the king meant for their son Aegon to be king, which he didn't. But anyway, so she decides that she's going to usurp the throne, and it comes to find out that her father, Otto Hightower, has really kind of had that plan all along. He's got everyone on the council really already on his side. Sir Kristen, I hope he dies horribly. He's just such a skeezy little, I'm disappointed really that Princess Rhaenyra ever had anything to do with him, because he's such a trash human being. Anyway, so the majority of this episode, I really thought it was going to be like a slower, just sort of setting up the politics of how the Hightowers basically take over the throne and put Aegon on the throne. And for the majority of it, that's really what we got. We got a couple of things that I feel like are somewhat important. Alicent has taken over to kind of get rid of the little birds, essentially, that her father has. So Daemon's girlfriend, I think at this point, or past girlfriend, I should say, he hasn't really been associated with her since he's been with Rhaenyra and before then. But the prostitute girl that he used to hang out with, I'm fairly certain is dead now. They did burn down her entire establishment. So I think that's, says some things, unless she knew about it beforehand, which I'm not sure. And then we did get to see some questionable activity between Alicent Hightower and Larys. I was very disturbed by that, like how she seems to pay him for his services just shows kind of the level of person that she is and how gross she's willing to get just to essentially have clean hands. And that says a lot about her character, I think. But in this episode, for the most part, we see that she's also taken Princess Rhaenys and locked her in her bedroom. And I think that this is really kind of where she loses Rhaenys. I think if she had Rhaenys be able to kind of move about the castle, or if she had gone to Rhaenys as early as possible and had the discussion that she had with her, I don't know that we would have had the same outcome. But I think that a lot of kind of what Rhaenys makes the decision on is, you've gone about this in an inappropriate way. Like, you locked me in my room, you made everyone a prisoner. People are, obviously you're not taking no for an answer, because she continues to lock Rhaenys in the room, saying, you can tell me yes or no, but you're trapped in here until you give a word. And we all know what happens if you choose side Rhaenyra, right? Because some of the seems like high families, when they go to like either bend the knee or not, anyone that doesn't immediately bend the knee to accepting Aegon as king is taken out, and we know what happens to them. So, but this episode, when they take everyone, we have the two Eric brothers, who are going to look for Prince Aegon, and he's out, in the streets of just the town. And he clearly wants nothing to do with being king, right? And one of the two brothers is definitely all for just doing what he's told and getting the thing done. And the other brother is like, you cannot be serious. Like, Aegon cannot be king. This is not what should happen. He's a sociopath. He's a terrible human being. This is the worst possible choice for king. It is not good for the people. It is not good for the realm. And so what he ends up doing is breaking Princess Rhaenys out of her room and taking her to the streets. He says he can get her to safety. And there is this brief moment where she's like, I'm not going to leave without Meleys. And he's like, we can't go back. They're going to expect you to go to the dragon pit. Like, you just have to go, and maybe you can come back for the dragon. Well, as they're trying to escape, you see like all of the people in the town being ushered into a certain direction. And at first, I don't know why. I guess maybe just from Game of Thrones and now House of the Dragon, you know that no one in the series is safe. And for some reason, with the entire townsfolk being kind of ushered in the same direction, I had assumed like, oh my God, they're going to kill all of the townspeople. Even though I do remember Alicent saying, I need Aegon to be crowned king and I need it to be done in front of everyone. I need it to be a public spectacle, to like ensure that it happens and that the people are with her. Even knowing that she had said that, I still was like, oh no, everyone's going to die. But as soon as Princess Rhaenys sees where they're going and they're going to the dragon pit, you just see her face change, and it's, she was a little bit concerned, and then all of a sudden she's like, yes, we are going exactly where I want to go. And so you see her just standing there as these proceedings are happening, and as they are crowning, Aegon to be king, and having the support of the people, that she just sort of sneaks off to the side. And I really thought that might be where they left it, that you kind of know where she's headed, and maybe that would be the opener of the next episode, that she gets away. But no, of course not. Of course they had to leave it on like a shattering ending, or an ending that was going to blow our minds, and it did, with her and Meleys just crashing up through the floor. And my only sad part of that particular scene would be that the majority of the people, if not everyone, that met their demise at that moment were all just townspeople. They're just people that didn't have much of a stake in the game. And you see this amazing, like just incredible moment with Princess Rhaenys and her dragon Meleys, where Alicent Hightower and Aegon and Aemond and Otto Hightower, all of the key players are up on this stage, right, where they've just crowned her son as king. And Rhaenys has her dragon set up. And you see that dragon open his mouth. And I thought we were going to get a Dracarys moment. But of course, we all knew kind of we weren't going to, because then the show is over. There is no, Battle of the Dragons, and there is no Dance of the Dragons, really, is correction there. But it was an incredible moment to see the dragon, and to know that really in that moment she is telling them, your lives are spared only because I allow it. Like, there is nothing that is stopping me from killing you right now. But of course she doesn't want to be a kingslayer. She knows she has to go and like do the right thing. And so obviously we know Princess Rhaenys is going to go to Rhaenyra, and this is where the Dance of the Dragons starts, and where the battle essentially starts. And I am excited for the next episode, but sad at the same time, because obviously it's the last episode of House of the Dragon. And I don't know what I'm going to watch after this. Like, I'm so invested in House of the Dragon. I'm like, can we just have season 2 already and not even have to skip a beat and not miss anything? But yeah, I'm very excited to see where this goes. I think the next episode is titled The Black Queen. So obviously that is speaking to Rhaenyra. I'm very excited to see how this ends, because they seem to be really good with those like cliffhanger endings. But definitely, I do not want Aegon to be king. Like, that kid. And all of his little babies. Oh my God, the little babies, where he goes to watch the kids, the poor little kids fight to the death. And you can see that clearly he's got children there that no one knows about, and just the 2 Eric brothers know about. And horrifying that this kid is king now. I can't even. Anyway, so we'll have to see what happens in the next episode, and of course in following seasons of House of the Dragon. Those are my thoughts. I would love to know yours. Please do like and subscribe if you want to join the Movie Nerd family, and I hope to see you in the next episode. next.